Have you ever wondered why society assigns certain roles and expectations based on one's gender? Perhaps you've questioned why certain behaviors are deemed masculine or feminine, or why we're encouraged to fit into these predefined boxes. These curiosities, these questions, they aren't just idle thoughts. They form the very foundation of a fascinating field called gender studies. It's a realm that challenges societal norms, that encourages us to think, to question, and to understand. Today, we delve into the fascinating world of gender studies. The seeds of gender studies were planted in the mid-20th century. This period, teeming with social and political unrest, was the backdrop for a movement that would forever alter the way we perceive gender and sexuality. It all began in the 1960s with the women's rights movement. Across the globe, women began to challenge societal norms, demanding equal rights in the workplace, in education, and in the home. They sought to dismantle patriarchal structures and shatter the glass ceilings that had limited their opportunities for centuries. This was not just about women seeking equality with men, but about asserting their identities, their rights, and their very existence. As the movement gained momentum, it gave birth to feminist theory, an intellectual framework that sought to explain why women were treated as secondary to men and how this could be changed. It was an exploration of gender as a social construct, something shaped by society rather than biology. But as the discourse evolved, it became clear that the conversation needed to be expanded. It wasn't just about the disparities between men and women. There were other genders and identities that were being overlooked, marginalized, and oppressed. The focus shifted from a binary understanding of gender to a more inclusive, intersectional perspective. Intersectionality, a term coined by Kimberly Crenshaw in the late 1980s, became a key concept in gender studies. It emphasized that people's identities are shaped by multiple factors, not just gender, but also race, class, sexuality, and more. These factors intersect, creating unique experiences of privilege and oppression. And so gender studies evolved from focusing solely on women's rights and feminist theory to a broader field that includes other genders and intersectional identities. It scrutinized and challenged the traditional understandings of gender, pushing for a more inclusive, equitable world. Thus began an academic revolution, challenging traditional understandings of gender. This revolution went beyond academia, permeating every aspect of our lives, shaping our perceptions and interactions, and igniting a global conversation about gender equality and identity. The history of gender studies is a testament to the power of collective action, the courage to question norms, and the relentless pursuit of equality. The 21st century brought a broader, more inclusive perspective to gender studies. Over the past few decades, the field has evolved from a primarily women-centric discipline to a more holistic study of gender identities. In the early days, gender studies was largely concerned with women's rights, feminism, and the patriarchal structures that governed society. Scholars and activists focused on issues like women's suffrage, reproductive rights, and equal pay, which were and continue to be important aspects of the struggle for gender equality. But as we moved into the new millennium, the scope of gender studies began to widen. The study of masculinity emerged, challenging the traditional notions of what it means to be a man. Researchers started to explore the societal expectations, privileges, and pressures associated with manhood. This new branch of study helped to deconstruct the stereotypes that often bound men to rigid roles and behaviors. Alongside this, the exploration of transgender issues became more prominent. Gender studies started to acknowledge the experiences of those who didn't fit into the binary definitions of male or female. The field began to delve into the complexities of gender identity and expression, shedding light on the experiences of transgender, non-binary, and genderqueer individuals. The 21st century also saw a focus on intersectionality, a term coined by legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw. Intersectionality recognizes that our identities are not one-dimensional. Our experiences of gender are influenced by other aspects of our identity, like race, class, and sexuality. This approach allows us to understand the diverse experiences of individuals and the various forms of discrimination they may face. The evolution of gender studies reflects a shift in societal understanding. It mirrors our growing recognition of the multifaceted nature of identity and the importance of inclusivity. It shows how far we've come, but also highlights the work that still needs to be done. As we continue to learn, grow, and evolve, so too will the field of gender studies. It will continue to challenge norms, break down barriers, and shed light on the diverse experiences of individuals across the globe. This evolution reflects society's growing understanding and acceptance of diverse identities. Gender studies is a vast field encompassing numerous concepts and theories, yet in the heart of this broad discipline, some key concepts stand out, shaping our understanding of gender and its role in society. Firstly, let's delve into gender roles. This term describes the societal expectations and norms surrounding how individuals of a certain gender should behave. It's like an unspoken script that's passed down from generation to generation, dictating everything from career choices to emotional expression. For instance, the notion that men should be strong and unemotional while women should be nurturing and sensitive is a classic example of gender roles. However, remember that these roles are not innate, but rather socially constructed and can change over time and vary across different cultures. Next, we have gender identity. This concept is all about how individuals perceive themselves and identify in terms of their gender. It could align with the sex they were assigned at birth, or it may not. For instance, someone assigned female at birth might identify as a man or as non-binary, or may not identify with any gender at all. It's a deeply personal matter and is about self-recognition and self-expression. Moving on, intersectionality is a crucial concept in gender studies. Coined by Kimberly Crenshaw, it refers to the interconnected nature of social categorizations such as race, class, and gender, which can result in overlapping and interdependent systems of discrimination or disadvantage. For example, a black woman's experience with sexism may be different and more complex than that of a white woman due to the intersection of racism and sexism. Lastly, we have this social construction of gender. This theory suggests that gender is not biologically determined but is constructed by society. It argues that our understanding of what it means to be a man or a woman is shaped by social influences, including media, culture, and education. For instance, the color pink is often associated with femininity, but this association is a social construction. There's no inherent feminine quality about the color pink, it's just a societal norm we've all grown accustomed to. In essence, these four concepts, gender roles, gender identity, intersectionality, and the social construction of gender, are the pillars of gender studies. They offer us lenses through which we can examine and understand the complex world of gender, how it's shaped by society, and how it shapes our lives in return. These concepts form the backbone of gender studies, guiding our understanding of gender in society. As we delve deeper into this fascinating discipline, we'll see these concepts reappear, offering us new insights and perspectives on the intricate dance between gender and society. So, why should we care about gender studies? This is a question that many of us may have asked at some point. To begin with, gender studies is a crucial tool in promoting equality. It allows us to understand the disparities that exist between different genders and provides us the knowledge and tools to address these discrepancies. When we study gender, we're not just learning about men and women, but about all genders and how societal norms and expectations can influence and often limit individuals. Furthermore, gender studies helps us to comprehend societal norms, to dissect them, and to question their validity. We live in a society where norms and stereotypes often define our roles and expectations. Understanding how these norms are constructed and perpetuated helps us challenge them and, ultimately, break free from them. Moreover, gender studies encourages us to challenge traditional gender roles. It helps us to see that gender is not a binary concept, but a spectrum. By questioning traditional gender roles, we can begin to create a society that is more accepting of all individuals, regardless of their gender identity. In a nutshell, gender studies is more than just an academic field. It's a lens through which we can view and better understand our society. It's a tool that can help us create a more inclusive and understanding society where everyone is respected and valued for who they are. In essence, gender studies is not just an academic field, but a tool for social change. In the past 10 minutes, we've embarked on a journey through the world of gender studies. We've taken a fascinating look back, exploring the origins and unfolding history of this important field. We've seen how gender studies have evolved over time, constantly adapting to new societal contexts and challenges. We delved into some key concepts that form the backbone of gender studies, like intersectionality, gender roles, and the social construction of gender. We also highlighted the immense importance of this field in our lives, explaining how it helps us understand the complexities of gender and its impact on societal structures and individual experiences. To sum it up, gender studies isn't just an academic field, it's a lens through which we can better understand ourselves, others, and the world around us. Remember, understanding gender studies paves the way for a more equal and inclusive society. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning,